Right, here we have Hoover The One, the infamous Hoover The One, which was voted the worst vacuum cleaner which had ever tested. It's not as bad as all that. It's not great, but it ain't bad. This model I'm unboxing, not for the first time, but it is practically brand new, this. It's hardly been on at all. So let's see what we get in the box. We get a dusting brush here, which is quite nice and soft. Not hard nylon bristles. Well, they may be nylon, but they're nice soft ones. You get a pert furniture nozzle there. Here we have the hose and the handle that incorporates a crevice tool. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty, the cleaner itself. Here it is. Let's just lift it out. And then finally, the dirt container. Let's move this huge box out of the way. It's a nice colour, I think. And being white, it is better than the later versions, which were in a metallic finish, which was easily scratched. Pop that on. I've still left the swing tag on the cleaner. Pop the handle in. Let's connect the hose up the back. That's it. These small tools just fit on there. There. No, that's wrong. I knew there was a way. There we are. And here we have Hoover The One, unboxed and raring to go. So I'll give you a quick tour of the machine and try and displace the myth that it's absolute rubbish, because it's not the best, but it isn't the worst machine I've used. So here we have it, out of its box, Hoover The One, which was supposed to knock Dyson off the #1 spot, which is a spot I don't think Dyson hold anymore, as in terms of volume sales. I think Vax beat Dyson now, and Dyson do have a lot more competition in the bagless market, and a lot more manufacturers are producing bagless cleaners with decent cyclones. But this is a single cyclone unit, I think, and not all that good at filtering. But this is the Hoover The One cleaner in a nice bright white and mulberry, I believe they call that colour. This one has been on just for a couple of minutes really, and I'll have it on again, but then it'll just get packed away. Unlike some models, they produced a whole range of the ones that had automatic flex rewind. I will be doing a video of the One Performer that I have, which is an improvement on this model, but it's basically the same shape. So here we have the floor head, and you've got one touch all floor cleaning, and I made a big thing of this one touch feature. So there's a bar there that you touch with your foot to either use it on carpet or hard floor. Unlike the twin motored The Ones, this didn't turn off the brush roll. Instead it put down a static brush when you press the hard floor. I'll show you that underneath. So you've got that, you've got edge cleaning. We'll see how close the brush gets to the edge by looking underneath. Now if we remove the bin, you just press one touch bin release and then you lift off. This part is very easy to break. On my one Performer, that handle part's broken. I've just ordered a new lid for it. This apparently was a problem. The filters kept popping out on the earlier models, so they modified it. But here's the filter release button. I'll show you that again. Whoops. Well, that certainly comes out at great force, doesn't it? Let's try that from another angle. See how far it'll shoot out. Well, that's certainly ejected that. So there we are. That's washable HEPA filter. You can see how clean that is. A little bit of carbon dust on. So it's hardly been turned on this. Here's the bin, which is an hourglass shape. And very awkward. You have to. It's very hard to do it with one hand, but you push that down. It will be stiff because it is very unused. Hang on a minute. I'll try it. There we are. It's supposed to be controlled dust emptying, so it opened part way to let the smaller dust out, and then you opened it fully to let the bigger dust out. But it was still quite a messy cleaner to empty. Far easier to have a little catch and a sort of trapdoor style of bin. That would have been better. So it is very awkward. We have the other filter here. So rotate to open this way. And there we have another washable HEPA filter. There's a washable sponge filter. You can see pretty clean. And then there's a washable mesh filter as well. So quite a lot of filter maintenance is needed to keep this cleaner working as efficiently as it will work. As you've got the rubber seals that correspond with the two holes on the bin. One that's for the suction, and then the dirt goes through that oval hole. Whoops, there. Oh, where is it? There, no, that's one hole. There we are, that's the other hole. So in that goes. Click it into place. I think that's clicked. Going up we have the one touch stair clean. It does actually, as the TV commercial shows, it does reach right up the stairs. You press that, up springs the handle, and you just pull the handle, pull the hose away from the body. And then it will stretch out to reach right up the stairs. And of course you've got the hand, you've got it all in your hand, and then the small dusting brush and the other furniture nozzle fits on the end of there. They did some models with a zoom telescopic part. This was telescopic, so it reached a bit longer. Pardon that noisy little dog. Little yappy thing that is. Now, then it goes in. You've got your on-off switch here. Nice colour matched white flex with quick release hooks, top and bottom, so you can take the whole flex off in one fell swoop. But as you can see, the flex comes out of the bottom there, which isn't the best solution. Let me just pop the hose back on. Isn't the best solution. So you would bring the flex up and hook it over there to keep it a bit higher up. On later models they actually had a clip here that held the flex in place to keep it out of the way. You've got two large wheels at the back. No release, handle release. You just keep your foot on, and as you can see, when you put it, the wheels move underneath. It's quite a stylish design, quite bulky, but still quite stylish. Now we'll get underneath, show you what's going on underneath the cleaner. So we have a brush roll, which very, very soft brushes, which won't help. I mean, they're really as soft as a dusting brush, which won't help its performance. There are a lot of brushes. It's a good dense supply of brushes, but they're very soft. On my Performer model, the brushes are stiffer, which will explain why it does perform better. And when you select hard floor mode, instead of stopping the brush roll, because this is a single motor cleaner, what happens is these brushes at the back pop out, but which didn't rate this for hard floor cleaning either, so that didn't really prove very effective. It's an unusual design, whoops, but not very effective. And of course we've got the tube here that takes the dirt from the cleaning head into the bin. There's access panel here. Really, there we are, that comes off. So you can actually take this hose out if it gets blocked up. But really, a vacuum shouldn't block up. If you're using it for its purpose and not picking up huge chunks of stuff they're not designed to pick up, then it shouldn't really be troubled with blockages, especially if you maintain it correctly. We'll just have a look at the rating plate underneath. We are Hoover model HM1, H1M001. There's the serial number, made in PRC, unfortunately. I believe I understand that the weak spot on this was the wheels, and I think the chassis. But as I'm not really going to use this machine, it won't really matter. So you've got the Hoover branding rather nicely on the cleaning tools. Of course the hose will remove from the handle when you twist either end. It'll just pop out if you get it blocked, and it's easy to remove from the back of the machine. As I say, I've still got the swing ticket that would be used as a sales aid in store, and it shows you the main features: one touch full stair cleaning, anti-tip design, which it doesn't tip over, it is good for going up the stairs, the one touch all floor cleaning, the one touch bin release, one touch controlled emptying. So there we have it. For a collector, it is a machine to own, unless, you know, if you're into just vintage machines. But if you're into more modern machines as well, it's one to get. If you can find one in good condition that's working, because it's a striking looking machine. And every time I see The One show on BBC One, weekdays at 7 PM. You look at the One logo that comes up, it's very similar to that. So every time that comes on I think of Hoover's The One. So we're going to give it a quick going over, just to show you it operating. I'm not going to put any dirt down. We'll see actually, because this carpet has been, this area that I'm going to just go over with the One has been cleaned a few times today, because I've been making videos of some other models. So instead of putting any dirt down, we'll just go over this area that's been cleaned and just check the bin, which you've seen is completely clear, and we'll see if it finds any dirt that the other cleaners have left. So here we go, quick demo of Hoover's The One. Well, it is hard to push, quite hard to push, but it seems to have cleaned up. The real test, of course, we'll look inside the bin. There was some rice particles that I must have missed that I heard going up into the machine. But I think it's easier, we'll look at the bin from the top and see what we've got inside. Now that shroud is pretty clean, so I don't think the carpet was very dirty. But surprisingly, and this is surprising, zoom in. And I found this when I first used this cleaner. It's only been used a couple of times. Now that, it's gone out of focus, there we are. That is deep down dirt, because that isn't recent dirt. Bit of dog hair. There's the rice particles, which you could hear whizzing round. But it's that fine dirt there that has been missed by those other cleaners. So let's get the bin open, if we can. There we are. Pop it back onto the floor. Whoops, a daisy. So, although we couldn't see any dog hair on the carpet, it found some, but it's this, look, it's this very fine dust, and that isn't recent dust. That feels very powdery. So, you know, I wouldn't say that's awful. It has still picked up dirt that the other cleaners that have cleaned this patch of carpet in my previous demos haven't been able to remove. But I think you'll probably find that's the case with a lot of cleaners. Why on QVC I've heard them especially, and other shopping channels, Ideal World, when they're selling vacuums, they say, well, use your old vacuum and then go over it with this fabulous vacuum and you'll see how much more dirt is removed. But I think really if you were to go over an area with an old vacuum, and then go over the same area with the old vacuum and compared, you know, when you've completely emptied it or put new back in, it still would find more dirt. So a lot of people don't really vacuum for slow enough really to get all the dirt out. They just whiz over and some dirt will always be left. But anyway, there we are, the much maligned Hoover the One. Some may say ugly duckling. I think it's an unusual, striking, dare I say, vacuum cleaner. So now, after seeing the light of day, I'm afraid it's back to the box for you. In order to keep you looking striking and actually working, you will have to be in the box. So there we go. Oh, I didn't see, did I, for the edge cleaning? I've not tested the edge cleaning, but let's see how close the brushes are to the edge. Oh, well, not close at all. As you can see, there are some side suction channels there, but as far as brushing to the edge, that's a good centimetre, ½ inch of space there. But it's worse on this side. This will be the belt side here, look. Again, they've made an attempt at 3 side suction channels, but as far as brushing near to the edge, it's quite a distance. And I'll be showing you a demonstration of a Hoover Turbo Power 2 at some point, one that I've owned from brand new and again has hardly been used, so it's practically brand new. And you'll see the difference in the brush roll and how close the brushes are to the edge of that cleaner.